CSS is a powerful page description language that unleashes the power of your creativity. It's the part of HTML development that gives you incredible power over a web page and its elements. There are 3 methods for including CSS in your HTML, and one method, attaching external style sheets, is an important one for a number of reasons. So in this video, I'll explain why it's important to attach style sheets to your HTML. So I've got an HTML page here, and it's got a number of different styles attached using the style tag in the head section. And you can see we've modified all sorts of things. Now there's a secondary page called Contact Us. I'll go ahead and right-click and run that in the browser. And you can see here we have a bit of a problem. Now it's not much to look at, but the point is that with websites, it's often the case that you have multiple HTML pages. You could have dozens and dozens, in fact. And if you're starting to use this methodology of style sheets inside the head section of your HTML page, then you can get into trouble really quickly. As a matter of fact, it can be quite disastrous, because what happens is you're going to make changes to a page, and suddenly you made changes to one page that didn't reflect out to all the other pages on the site, and you break something. In this case, the heading is really small. The background color is a dark charcoal gray, and really that's going to be a problem. So here's why we use external style sheets. I'll go ahead and just take and highlight this entire style sheet, right-click and cut it, because I'm taking it right out of the document. And as a matter of fact, I'm going to grab this one as well, but I'm going to delete this one because I want to use the one that was applied to this. And here, I'll save that first. Let's save that, and go ahead and create a new document, and it'll be CSS. Now, I'll just highlight this and Control-V to paste what we copied in. And the very first thing you need to know about external style sheets is they're not HTML, so you don't need an HTML tag there, and you don't need one here. Go ahead and get rid of both of those. It's just like you would type it out inside the style tags in the HTML document without the actual tags themselves. Now I'm going to save that and then rename this. Move this back up here a bit. I'm going to rename that style sheet to something a little friendlier, like maybe rename styles.css. Now, once I've done that, let's go back to our 2 HTML pages, and anywhere after the title tag, put this in, link, and we'll type in rel equals style sheet inside quotation marks, and then type equals text/CSS, and then finally href, and href is the actual name of the style sheet, so styles.css is what we called it inside quotation marks. Make sure you put in a space and a / before you close that tag, because it's self-closing. Now I'll save that, and I'm going to right-click and copy that. Now let's refresh our page first. Let's go back here, close that, and run this, and something is broken. So what did I break? Oh, I see what I did. We need to have quotation marks right there and right there. Go ahead and save that and refresh. Okay, so that didn't work. Let's take a look and see why. All right, I see what happened. I forgot to put an opening quotation mark right there. Let's save that and refresh. And now the styles are attached, okay? So anytime we make a change in this style sheet, the external style sheet, for instance, we're going to change that background color maybe to something like a light blue, and save the style sheet. We don't even have to resave the HTML. We'll just refresh that we've changed that page. Now, likewise, once again, I'll go ahead and copy and paste this. Copy it again because we made a change to it. Go and put it here, Control-V to paste. That when we open up contactus.html, that it's going to look exactly the same. And as a matter of fact, let's go back here and change that color back to what it was before and save it. And now if I look at these two side by side, just go ahead and refresh these pages. Okay, so making that one change has allowed us to modify every page that has that style sheet attached to it. That's the benefit, the main benefit of using style sheets. There's another benefit as well that bears talking about, and that's that you can have multiple style sheets attached to a document. So for instance, what I could do is I could have one for, say, text styles. So any styling of text we could put there. Anything that we had of structure, for instance, we would call this, we can call it whatever we want, but structure .css, for instance. Okay, so structural things like the page layout, div containers, and whatnot could be there. And then we could even have yet another one. Okay, so I'll paste that in right there. And we'll call this one, say, transform. Okay, so if we had separate style sheets called text styles, structure, and transform, we could have all our text styling in one CSS style sheet, one with all our structure, page structure in the structure.css, and then all our transformations in transform.css. So CSS is extremely powerful, but just remember, be very careful about using stylings inside your HTML document. If you're doing one-offs, that's okay. If you're working on a single page that has an element that's not going to reoccur on other pages, that's okay too. Once you start getting into websites where you have multiple HTML pages, that's when you want to take a serious look at using external style sheets.